don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mondays here in 2026 on RCI. I apologize for me whispering into the mic moments ago, but I had no idea that I was transmitting live. And well, you know what? That's how we're going to get it started here in 2026 on ACC. Welcome to round one of the GT3 Masters Championship here on Racing Club International. Today, we are at the international place known as Indianapolis. I was going to come up with something a little bit more shiny and cool to call the circuit, but it's Indianapolis. Everyone knows the circuit. Everyone knows the Brickyard. Not as many people know the infield circuit. I actually quite like it. I think it's quite cool. And I'm excited to be starting here for round one. My name is Jack Mays. Joining me inside of the box, we have Callum Kerwin, my Monday brother, my Monday aficionado, my GCC gamer guy. And of course, if it's Mondays, it's Ash Bibby as our broadcaster, keeping us up to date with all the sounds and sights that ACC has to offer. Callum, I would say a bit of a rocky start to Mondays in 2026, but we'll smooth all that over and we'll get to going. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, mate. I'm tired but ready. I'm ready to go. I'm just having a look down at what cars people chose for this series. There was a bit of disappointment that there was no. I think some people wanted the Jag, which was a bit bold.
Yes.
But we've got obviously the Ferrari. As I said, it did not end well. We've done that before. But Ferrari, we've got Andre Bajtek here in the Lexus for the Jamaica bobsled sim racing team. We've got a Honda in there. We've got only the one McLaren out today. BMW, which I think is the M4 because the M6 was banned. And Joe Dorber has, in an absolute chad, taken the Nissan GTR.
I think that's a wonderful choice, and it is worth mentioning out the gates that we are running the LFM bot. So normally you'd sort of see these cars and be like, wow, they are terrible. Why? Well, LFM bot is probably the best bot that ACC has nowadays, especially since Kunos has basically said bye-bye to ACC. We're going to go do other things, have fun. And a lot of these cars are quite strong, beginning with the Lexus. I don't know LFM or BOP as well as I know, let's say LMU BOP, but I do know Lexus fast in a straight line, like really fast in a straight line. So we'll probably be seeing a bit of that. 296, it's just a pretty strong contender through and through. I'm gotta say, a bit surprised, maybe a little bit disappointed that there's not a Bentley on the field. I know that was a car on offer, and I know it's not very popular. The boat, as it's often known. It's a good, solid range of cars I think we got here, Callum. And of course, we're already well into qualifying while we're yapping away. But it's Kumpu on the pole, one of our previous Monday champions, maybe multi-time Monday champion. He's one of our most recent Monday champions as well, and it's good to see a lot of the old masters, dare I say, Callum. A lot of the older names, the well-known names here at RCI. It's good to see the circuit.
Yeah, he mentioned, I think it was him that mentioned that he's doing the LMU race straight after this. So as soon as this finishes, he is closing ACC, opening LMU, and doing, I don't know exactly which race it is. That's not the line through there, Jack. You know American circuits better than I do, seeing as you are from that crazy land. But I know that that's not the line.
I don't think that's the line either. I don't think that Lamborghini's on the line.
There's a lot of not the lines going on here, although what you can do from memory is extend all the way out to the edge of that tarmac bit on the run up to the back straight, which gains you a little bit of time. I'm also being told by Kevin, who is joining us from Kazakhstan, that is the only time on record that someone on the internet has said that without doing a Bora accent. He has also chosen the GTR, and apparently on SimGrid it shows that someone has chosen a Bentley. So we might see a Bentley come out, but it might just not be today.
Well, That's something to look forward to.
I'm sure
Certainly.
you were anticipating some really insightful knowledge of like, you know, guiding you through this lap that Mike Redford doing. But no, more importantly, we may have a Bentley soon.
Bentley's more important, but I think that is a fair point. We may as well guide him through a lap, considering Mike Redford is getting ready to start and end the lap that he's on currently, standing in 11th. So, a lot of room to improve. This is the longest straight down from turn 15 towards to turn 1. And of super, super tricky chicane here. That inside curb is very, very tall. You can take it in these cars, but well, you might get washed a little bit wide. And now he's going through the turn 2, turn 3 complex that then becomes turn 4. You're kind of 3 and 4 are really just one long corner. Turn 5 takes you into this little infield horseshoe type deal that is turn 6. No idea what the line is through there because it's such an awkward corner. Setting up turn 7 for the back straight. And as you see, as Callum said, we're extending those all the way out is Mike Redford and getting ready for one of the heaviest braking zones on the course to turn 8. Another chicane with the the apex curb absolutely towering above you, and a really good way to spin a car. If you hit it in the wrong way, that was turn 11 just now, and here he goes getting onto the banking. Well, a tiny bit, not really actually not the banked bit of the circuit, but you are on the oval for just a moment before 13. That's in McLaren, staying out of the way of Redford's lap. Turn 14 here, and back onto the oval for the final corner. Turn 15, he's going to run it all the way to the wall, carrying as much speed as he possibly can, and we'll see what that can do for Redford. It is an improvement, a solid 6/7 improvement, but not a position improvement, Callum, and it's still Nico Kumpu on the pole.
Yes, and then sort of usual I'll put my teeth in and try that one again. Usual suspects at the top. Obviously, we mentioned that Lexus is piloted by Andre Weistek. He's in second place, about 4/10 off the pace at the moment. Raphael Huel is currently in the pits, and I don't see that Porsche moving. It's the only Porsche we've got today, I believe. So, oh no, we've got Thibaut Roscam as well. I correct myself. So I don't think you might go for one more, maybe. Miso Stubner, Andy Boardman as well is always one to look out for in the number 69 Ferrari. Thibaut Roscam, and Olivier Curtin are all within a second, and then we drop down about 4/10 to this sort of lower midfield fight between Peter Varga, Cizeron, Redford, Foxhall, Hugo Duby, Joe Dalbert and Richard Meerman. I know Richard Meerman's late. I know he was, I think, returning home from something, so I didn't think he was struggling to get in on time. Was just about able to join. So maybe he's going for the start from the back and see what happens strategy, which worked out quite well on Friday in the LMU race we had, starting from the pit. But
It is true.
yeah, Andy Boardman, sort of, I'd expect to see him maybe climb a bit higher up. It's not really a circuit that we use a lot, is this? The Indy course. It's sort of reserved for these bigger GT3 series, or when we go and do an American series. Ash Bibby is sharing his opinion on this circuit in my ear quite loudly and quite distractingly. He doesn't like it. And is now laughing, which has completely made me lose my train of thought. One thing you will see is we have no liveries at the moment. Ryan Gill is working on making a little thing for the liveries for these cars, because it's part of our well, the one casualty really of us switching over to SimGrid is that we lost the inbuilt livery tool that our website had for uploading liveries, which worked beautifully because we've used it for years, and now we have to start from scratch all over again. But we've got a minute and a half to go. Matt Malcolm is in the Garage 59 McLaren. I have a friend who worked on, I believe, that exact livery car in one of the endurance series. I can't remember for sure, but I know he was at Garage 59. But yeah, very, very good British-based racing team. I know you were out, Jack, actually watching some racing in the States, weren't you?
I was indeed. I saw bits of. I was at the Roar before the Rolex 24, which was actually the first time that I had seen a vast majority of the cars that I saw there, and man, racing is really fun in person, and the sights, the sounds, the smells, especially, are absolutely phenomenal. I took thousands of pictures in a couple of hours, and I'm very looking forward to going back next week for the Rolex 24. Will I stay awake for 24 hours? Probably not. Maybe. We'll see. But as qualifying is winding down, ladies and gentlemen, the last couple of laps are coming in. Drivers have 20-ish seconds to cross the line, start their final lap if they elect to do it. And speaking of cars in person, I'm going to miss the Huracan GT3 so much once it disappears in the coming months because it is easily the best sounding GT3 car. Don't at me. At least on the IMSA calendar, I can't speak. I haven't heard every GT3 car that exists, but it's great. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. And well, I wish the NSX was still around because man, that would be great to see Olivier Curtin piloting that Lexus currently in 8th position. Going to be our last driver to cross the line. And well, hopefully, if they catch up to me, so Stubna, hopefully Stubna stays out of the way. Well, he might get actually a little bit of a distant tow, but very distant, pretty much something that won't make any amount of difference. And Stubna, just ahead, is going to be the last driver who's really within. Well, Stubna and Boardman are the last two within reach of possibly challenging for pole here. Kumbu is a good distance away from both of them. You can find half a second. It's doable. Get a really good idea of the driver's side view through this final sector with Kierton from the NSX, and well, he's not hanging around, hoping maybe to put in a final effort, coming as close to the wall as you could comfortably be. Inside the apex curb, so let's across the grass just a bit. Boardman's up to third after crossing the line. We'll see if Stubna can jump up a little bit. Does not, stays in 5th. Curtin across the line, stays in 8th. And, well, that's qualifying. And in case you were wondering, Kumpu is well and comfortably comfortable as the NSX in the background is fine, I'm sure. We can put that back together. I mean, Callum, you're a race mechanic. That's fixable, right?
Yeah, I don't know about that one, Chief.
Nico Kumpu on the pole with purple 3 sectors. Very dominant performance in qualifying. Adresh Batek is in 2nd position. Andy Boardman climbed up to 3rd in the closing stages. Raphael Huell 4th. Miso Stubna 5th. Thibaut Roskam 6th. Malcolm in 7th. Olivier Kierton in 8th. Mike Redford 9th. Peter Varga 10th. Miguel Cicerone in 11th. Mike Foxhall 12th. Hugo Doobie 13th. And Joe Dauber and Richard Meerman, well, 14th and 15th. I think Dauber's doing the thing he likes to do where he's going to start from the back of the field. And Richard Meerman, we're just going to cross our fingers and hope that he's here in time for the race. I'm going to assume he is, considering he's still in the car. And I would be deeply surprised if he, well, was sitting on circuit, not actually sitting at his rig. Cal, I know it's round 1. I know we've only seen, 10, 15 minutes of qualifying. But if you were to put money on a driver to win this race, who's it going to be?
I should let you know that my current sort of gambling record is not good.
No one's
So
is.
do not follow this advice. No one's is, to be fair. Yeah, you're not wrong. I'll always shout for like a Boardman. I like the fact that Andre Baztek's up there in the Lexus. It would be cool to see a Lexus win a championship, I think. On cool points, I think I'd probably go the Lexus. I like the NSX. The NSX is a cool car. I've seen a couple of them in person. There's actually one for sale. It raced in British GT last year, so it's probably one of the last few remaining NSXs running out there in sort of big European series. They don't really race a lot in Europe, but yeah, I know the guys who ran that, which was quite a cool thing to see. But yeah, I think it's nice to see a big grid. I know a couple of people who are meant to be here can't make it, so we might even potentially get to sort of looking into the 20s, hopefully, on some of the rounds. Obviously, the drivers can sign out and they do have drop scores, etc., included in case they need to. We appreciate that. Not everyone can make every Monday in a 6-7 week period. So, you know, and I'm quite excited to actually see what some of these guys do with the custom liveries, because obviously at the moment it's all just stock in-game stuff. So I know some people have some quite cool liveries planned. I saw a couple that were posted that looked pretty funky actually. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, Boardman did jump up to third in the sort of end of qualifying as well, which I don't think we noticed. So he's obviously going to be a sort of quite a hot shout for this one. Track's quite warm for this. I've just noticed in the top right corner you can see 26 degrees air temp, but 34 track. So that could cause a little bit of a problem, Jack, for them.
I mean, yeah, it could do. It's not as warm as we've seen on some rounds. I think often enough when we're here at Indianapolis, it's raining. I think the last 2 times we've been here on Mondays in ACC, I think it's been raining. But it's round one, and our Lord and event manager Kevin Boss decided to not start on a wet race. That's saved for round two. So look forward to that for next week. And but I do think it may cause a bit of increased tire wear, maybe a bit of graining towards the end of the stints, and we'll see how that plays into the race. Maybe we'll notice some people dropping off of their pace from maybe where we'd be expecting.
Well,
But
there is Jack. There is a mandatory pit stop, so it's a
there is a
30-minute pit
mandatory
window.
pit stop.
So I'm presuming that, seeing as it is an hour-long race this time out, it will be opening it 15 minutes in and closing 15 minutes before the end, where they have to put 1 litre of fuel in and do a tyre change.
That is very true.
At a minimum, they can choose to run less fuel and fuel for the time that the tyres take, or they can choose to just do the 1 litre, run with heavier fuel at the start, and go from there. But yeah, so that will help out things. You got to think 30 minutes on a set of tyres isn't actually that bad in the grand scheme of things. When you think about the endurance races that these cars do, they do a lot longer than that on a single set. But I don't think any endurance series runs Pirellis. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think most of them are Michelins.
I think you're right. Yeah, because I mean the Pirelli tire's most known with GT World Challenge, which is
Yeah.
what ACC is simulating, but I don't think so. I do think it's mostly Michelin's across the board, and these Pirellis that they're on, they are a more of a stickier compound, a less, let's say, it wears more and lasts a whole heck of a lot shorter than those endurance tires that most cars run. But these tires can do in excess of an hour for absolute sure. But when they're going to be driving at the pace they're going to be, and that's the fun thing about sprint races, very little fuel saving usually, very little other than just full flat out driving for most of these drivers. I can pretty much guarantee as the lights go green for the formation lap. Those of you who've been enjoying LMU as we have know that well, full formation laps are a bit of a rarity because, well, they frankly don't exist in LMU. Many things that LMU is still missing. The fact that they say it's in a full release state is insane to me. But enough complaining about that. We have ACC Mondays to enjoy here. It's Kumbu leading the field through turn one. This will be the slowest we see these cars moving all day. Hopefully. I can't think of a scenario why they'd be moving slower unless it was very broken, Callum, but
I hope they're going this slowly when they go down the pit lane, otherwise they get a penalty.
That's true. That's the slowest they're going to be going all day on the circuit.
Honestly, I'm quite impressed that I thought up with that one that quickly.
Yep, you made me feel like a bit of a dingus. So
that's my job.
That.
Oh. I'm only teasing you. No, yeah, hopefully these guys don't have much trouble. I think, yeah, we've seen a lot of these, like you say, we've seen a lot of these guys out here before. There's, I think, a couple of sort of new faces that might not have done as many Monday champs, but most of these guys are sort of seasoned Mondayers. So we'll see how they manage. Nico Kumpu is leading them around the long old formation lap. We're used to the short formation laps on LMU at the moment, and it's weird to see a full formation lap. I don't know about you, but it's nice to see, get a good view of it. But there's not a lot of weaving or any form of tyre warming. Obviously in ACC, I think the most efficient way to do it, if it's still the same way that I remember, is to drag the brakes. It's the same in real life cars. If you drag the brake, you build up temperature in the actual wheel rim itself, and then that warmed a bit of argy-bargy on the formation lap there between Timo Moskam and Stubner. I think just a bit of a brake check maybe. But fortunately collisions aren't on, as you see cars ghosting through each other as they get ready to line up 2 by 2. But yeah, you warm up the inside of the wheel rim, and that keeps the internal temperature of the tyres warm, and then you weave to get the external temperature up. So you need the internal temperature warm to keep it going for a long time, Jack.
Yeah, it's something that this sim has done well, is the way the tires heat that LMU has just started to do well, at least in the GTs and prototypes. They now adopt that same thing, and a full formation lap is nice. Because you can sort of relax before the race starts, get your head straight, really make sure you've done everything you need to do to prepare, have your pit stop set up, and all sorts of things, and also
Realise that you've loaded your quali set up by accident and don't have enough fuel to make it round 3 laps like I always do.
And then cry and then think about it for a while. But hopefully their tires are warm. Hopefully they're ready as they're going to be, because it's green light for the first round of GT3 Masters here on
start for
Mondays. Very good start for the Lexus. Andrej Batek is just, well, he's taking the lead before turn 1. Nico Kumpu just sort of has to sit there and take it. I mean, I know that Lexus is fast in a straight line, but that was very good. That's Boardman on the that's Huell on the outside there of Nico Kumpu, thinking about a move. The guy that was quick in qualifying is pretty much fading fast, and we know race pace is a different thing, and maybe their strategies are different on how they want to get this race started, but it's Batek out front, Kumpu second, and Raphael Huell up to third. The rear of the field seems to be mostly tame. No big accidents, no big incidents happening so far. And, well, they're onto the straight for the first time. Maybe an initial move. It's a big weave from Batek. He's going to break the toe as much as they can. One of my favorite things is when a big line of cars starts snaking across a straight like that. It's just, it's a uniquely motorsport thing, and it's something that I do enjoy to see. But absolutely phenomenal launch for Batek off the line, and a couple drivers moving up just a bit, but mostly stable at the start.
Yeah, nothing big as of yet. Just Batek, I think, just predicted the green light a little bit better than Nico. Nico might have bogged down a tiny bit, but he just didn't get the best jump. But he managed to fend off Raphael Huell, who is now under attack from Andy Boardman. So I think Huell snuck off Boardman at the start there as well. So there's a couple of bits of chopping and changing as we finish the opening lap now. Batek with about a 5/10 gap as they come over the line, but obviously because they're going in a straight line down a long straight, it looks a little bit closer than it might be. Andy Boardman sniffing around the back there of Raphael Huell, who is sort of just following in the wheel tracks of Nico Kumpu, not doing very well there not to over defend, which is you can do. You can go to block the inside and then realise that the car wasn't actually going from you behind you, and you've just slowed yourself down or compromised your run through the corners. I have been reminded, Jack, by Kevin Boss, the Kevin Boss of Kevin Boss, to remind everyone that we have the return of something we haven't seen in a very long time. It's live stewards, everybody. We have a full cohort of live stewards, headed up by our very own McKenna, and some lovely names I recognise. It's been a while since we've had a live steward in the championship, but they are back. They are better than ever. And I think I'm gonna find one of McKenna does this every time. McKenna does some fun facts. Usually they're based on the circuit, however these seem to just not be at all. Donald Duck's middle name is Fauntleroy, and he's the only Disney character with a US Social Security number. There you go, something you might not have known. And while they keep coming back, we'll keep giving you and nicking their fun facts and using them for the live stream. But it's great to see them back. If you do want to be involved with RCI in any way, shape or form, whether it's stewarding, commsing, broadcasting, helping out with social media. There are relevant channels in the Discord. If you just search up racerci.com, you'll find links to our Discord as well on SimGrid as well. If you just search up RCI SimGrid, you'll find us all online. Joe Dorber is looking to sniff out a move with that big old snout of that GTR on Peter Varga, who is sort of struggling a little bit, dropping down from the back of Mike Redford in the fellow Ferrari. But obviously the LFM bot does help even the playing field, but it doesn't change these cars' characteristics. That is still a very, very big heavy car with a very, very big lump at the front of it, which is not going to be anywhere near as agile as that mid-engine 296 is, Jack.
Yeah, no, it certainly isn't, and I think, agreeing with our beautiful broadcaster, the GTR is a lot better than the 296, and the 296 is easily the quietest GT3 I've ever heard. It basically makes no noise compared to the rest of the field, and Sims have it a bit different, but it's just a V6. It just makes a noise, and the mighty GTR and the mighty Joe Dauber already scything through the field, and maybe thought about a move on Varga, maybe thinking about a move on Varga here coming up shortly. Varga defended early into turn one. I think Dauber was going to think about it, and that sort of sent him off, but they are both being towed along by Mike Redford just ahead, and we'll see what it looks like. They're going onto the banking for the straights. We'll see it's sort of equal distance between the three of them. We'll see if Varga maybe thinks about it. He's thinking about it just a tad. We'll see how they look on the brakes, but it's just not close enough. Redford holding his line, holding firm, and sometimes the best way to defend, Callum, is to not defend at all.
It's exactly what I said about over defending. You can slow yourself down so much by just committing to the inside, thinking that you're going to block the driver from making a move. But yeah, it just doesn't work out that way. I have seen McKenna has just put in a message in our channel on Discord saying the first penalty of 2026 with 3 question marks. I don't know whether that's referring to the fact that there'll be a penalty already, or asking us to gamble on when that's going to be.
You know, I can't say. I'm sure.
It's a bit ugly. It's not the cleanest move in the world, but then at the same time, the NSX has gone in quite deep there, and has sort of come back onto the racing line, which had the Ferrari on it, is my opinion. But that's why we have a stewards team and a comms team. They can sort that out, and we can do this.
Oh, here comes Dauber. Maybe thinking about it on Varga, trying around the outside of turn 13. Wow, that's not exactly the easiest move to make, but Joe Dauber's done it. Can he keep it stuck in? And that was Varga on that last shot we saw, sort of elbowing Kierton out of the way earlier on. But Dauber's done the move. Needs to keep it clean, needs to keep it quick, get onto the back of Redford and try to run away, because Peter Varga is not the type of driver to take overtakes lying down. He's going to be hungry to take that back at the earliest opportunity. But a very good, very clean move from Joe Dauber. Here's Stubna thinking about the back of Ross Cam. He ran a little bit wide, a little bit too far onto the curb, and he needs to be careful because that's a very hungry Garage 59 McLaren powered by Matt Malcolm. Well, it's powered by a V8 driven by Matt Malcolm in the background, and it's fights like this that I really enjoy, because it's like every driver needs to sort of play it smart and sort of maybe be a bit more patient than they would be if it was just a straight one-on-one fight. Confident on the brakes, maybe a little bit deep, but you got to sort of gauge your moves. You can't overextend yourself trying to overtake the car ahead, because then the car behind you is going to come right back and snatch an opportunity. And already the packs have begun to form in this race. You sort of have the top 4 cars, then we have these 3, and it's little packs of 3 forming throughout the racing field, and hopefully Callum will get some really good racing action, because we are 8 minutes into this race.
What I'm loving about this little fight between here is we've got a rear-engine, obviously rear-wheel drive car, a front-engine rear-wheel drive car, and a mid-engine rear-wheel drive car. all battling it out for one position, being 6th place. Sorry, 5th place even. But shows you the LFM bop. But one
Ooh.
car, big heavy car,
Ooh.
front engine is that GTR. Joe Dormer's making a bit of a storm through the field from his qualifying position. Maybe that GTR's just got a little bit more race pace than we saw in qualifying, or maybe he's just getting used to driving that big old bus
He also
again.
didn't qualify.
Oh, sorry, he didn't qualify. Maybe this is just
It's the last of first challenge with Joe Darby.
but he's making some good early progress. I mean, we're seeing a Ferrari on Ferrari. That was Peter Varga trying to just poke the nose in there on Mike Redford, remind him that it's not just Joe Dorber that wants to come through. There's a couple of very quick drivers behind him, of Peter Varga and Olivier Curtin in that Honda NSX. As the Curtin, I think, shaping for a move there, but just shows the nose and decides better of it, just ducks back in line behind the Ferrari.
Yeah, it's. I think, you know, when you see a car ahead of you, you go for a move, and it's fired up some sort of straight piped car in the back, and I apologize if you're hearing that. I have neighbors. I don't like them. But the thing about when you see a car ahead of you, you know, overtake, you think, oh, my move can come soon. You know, clearly there's a weakness. Clearly there's something I can exploit. And Varga's all over the back of Mike Redford, but Redford's, I would call it the Kevin Boss school of defending, which is not defending. And it seems to be working pretty well for him so far. Never mind, he is actually going to defend just a little bit, try to break the toe. All three cars snaking all over the place. We'll see if Varga thinks about it. It was sort of a late look under braking there, and Olivier Curtin, I think, is going to need to think twice about trying it on the brakes. Need to have absolute certainty that they'll get that move done. It sort of seems like that these cars are about equal in straight line. Olivier Curtin not getting as close as he's been through this section of the circuit, or getting ready to go on the straight this time. I think we might be seeing a move in the braking zone here.
We might be seeing a move in the braking zone. We'll see how quickly I can say this, but we have our first live penalty report of 2026. It's a warning for lap 2, turn 1 for between actually these two cars, the 508 of Peter Varga and the 5 of Curtin. It's a warning for 508 for avoidable contact on the 5, leading to the position being lost by Olivier Curtin in car number 5. So yeah, first live penalty report of the year, the first one I've read out in a while, I have to say. And McKenna is doing that, and also bringing in yet more facts that I might just save for later on, because we have got a bit of a good old-fashioned Monday battle here between Mike Redford, Peter Varga and Olivier Curtin, and it's just starting to open that gap out in front. Joe Dorber's sort of pulled about 2.5 seconds on them so far, so you can see how much time, Jack, you just lose purely to fighting. But Peter Varga, hopefully, for his sake, going to make a move down this back straight.
Oh, he's so good on the brakes, Joe Darby. He's so confident.
Nissan is just superb on the brakes.
It seems to be, absolutely. I was going to say, Joe Darby was closing in on his next target, which was Matt Malcolm. Well, he's dispatched it with the skill and the swag that Joe Dauber is capable of. He's rather famous for his you know, on Mondays, not bothering to qualify and see where he can get up to in the race. And I always appreciate him for it, because it's so entertaining to watch him fight his way through the field. Dauber is very quick. I could imagine, I'm going to look at lap times, probably as quick as the leaders, and he is exactly as fast in terms of best lap as the leader, a 1:35.7 for him and a 1:35.7 for Andrzej Batek, who of course is still leading this race. That was Stubna and Roscan that I saw side by side briefly, maybe just a tad, and oh yeah, they're all over each other in the front column, and ooh, is it a move into 13? It is a move into 13. A sort of up and under for Miso Stubna on Roscan there.
On Roscan. I think he's chosen not to fight it there, so that he gets the toe for the main straight. We'll see how well he manages down this straight. It is still Baztek holding on ahead of Kumpu, and then a bit of a gap back to Andy Borkman ahead of Miso Stubna, who is being chased down by Thibaut Roscan, but that has brought Joe Dorber right into this fight. And I mean, it's a strategy we use on even the F3 car. You put a bit of weight onto the nose, which obviously that GTR has, being that it has such a sort of a hefty lump up the front of that car, and it sits quite far forward, the engine in that car as well. You put the weight on the nose, and it just gives you so much more confidence in the brakes, and it means you can overtake absolutely everybody, and you're rapid. So just maybe finding the right setup to sort of pair well with the characteristics of that car, with the BOP as well, sort of helping him out, I think, a little bit. But Miso Stubner held on to that. Thibaut Roscam is in second, and Joe Dorber, I think, looks more likely to make a move on Roscam than the other way around. That's a Ferrari going slowly.
Very slowly.
Number 15 is caused a yellow flag at the back as well, I believe, or 15. Yeah, it's Richard Meerman.
It is Meerman, and we know that was the sort of late joiner. Well, I'm not 100% sure. He comes to a stop, mostly off the racing line, mostly out of the way. Normally, if you'd say maybe he disconnected, but usually when a car disconnects, it disappears entirely. So I'm not sure it was a failure, but he's gone now. So, oh, never mind. Well, we'll sort of keep up with that and figure out maybe what's going on, maybe what the final answer is, whether he's here or he isn't. I think he's just a magician. Is it Dauber on the brakes into one again? It's Dauber on the brakes into one again, but not quite the same. He's held off by Thibaut Roscam. Levins are known for having good brakes, so that was extremely well judged, fending the mighty fighty GTR in the background. And that is going to be another couple of corners till Dauber can attempt to make a move. Oh, we have a bit of change in the rear of the field. Wait a minute, that's Boardman.
It was Boardman who was slow.
It was Boardman.
I knew I saw a Ferrari going slowly down that main straight. I couldn't quite pick out which one it was because they've both got red noses. But it's Boardman.
Kierton has just gotten by Varga in the background. He made it done in turn 6.
And Bajtek has lost out to Nico Kumbu, unless the time was having a bit of a fit.
He has. He's actually lost out to both Kumpu and Raphael Huel. I'm going to assume maybe a bit of a mistake from the Lexus driver. Nothing that our tool is telling us happened, so no contact, no big accident.
He's ahead of you. So
is he ahead of you?
Yeah, he's ahead of you. He was just behind you.
Oh, a bit of a shunt on the exit there, running Huel completely out of range.
Stewards might have a look at that. Speaking of stewards, by the way, we've just got a racing incident for when Joe Dorber overtook, I believe, Peter Varga. It's just a racing incident for minor contact in turn 13, so nothing really going there. But yeah, I think we've somehow managed to miss a pass of the lead, as I believe that is Mike Redford diving into the pits. So he's going to be the first of the stoppers. Jack, you'll have to keep an eye on the pit stop times because I don't have ACC open. So
I'll let you know when I know, and it is worth reminding those who are not uber familiar with ACC and how ACC pit stops work. There is a lot of time to be gained, and there's a lot of time. Well, there's more a lot of time to be lost in the pit stops. You do have to hit your markers perfectly, unlike an LMU where it doesn't really matter where you stop as long as you stop. You do lose time if the car needs to be pushed back, and that can cost you seconds, which can actually cost you races. We've seen races be determined by pit stops, actually at Indianapolis. I believe it was the Sylvia Series, the M2 Cup, back in the day, a couple of months ago, that it was Kumpu leading the race, and he lost time in the pit stop and lost it to Andy Boardman, in fact. And I do wonder why Boardman was going slowly, Callan, and you rightfully pointed it out. And he was sort of he was sort of on his own, but he was securely in 4th position, and it sort of ran him to pull over and be going slowly like that. And the fight between Huel, Batek, and Kumpu, however that shook out when we just sort of blinked, well, Kumpu clearly now being comfortably out in the lead, and already put a 2 and a bit seconds on Batek and showing his pace for the first time in the lead. 15 minutes in, another 18 minutes technically. Another 42 minutes remain. Pits have just opened, and Redford was in and he was out, and it took him 1 minute and 36 seconds. So you're wondering, again.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on how well everyone does. He's gone for the Les Stevenson strategy of just pit immediately as soon as the pit window opens, and then just sort of use the free air in front of you to push. I have actually asked our stewards if they saw what happened to car number 7, and they're going to have a look and see if they can find out for us, because obviously they are watching every corner, so someone will have seen what happened to Vaztech. Whether we can find out or not, but I'm assuming it was a pass. However, for him to lose 2.5 seconds when he was on pace with Nico Kumpu, I think something more might have gone on there. But if we can find out, we will tell you what happens. But in the meantime, Olivier Curtin is still on the back of Andy Boardman, who is chasing down Matt Malcolm. But yeah, we shall see what happens. Jack, you're asking them. Great, cool. I just seeing text pop up on my screen. I was wondering what was going on. Apparently, according to McKenna, there was incident from their tool that they are looking at now. So maybe the stewards might get involved with that. But Joe Dorbajack is up to 5th place.
He is up to 5th place. He managed to make the move on the next try up past Tio Roskam. Tebow now is just, well, he's there, but I don't think has the pace to stay with the Nissan driver. But I think you are right. There would have had to have been a little bit of an incident between the two for that to happen so suddenly. And I think the good news for Olivier Kiert, we were on board with a little bit ago, with the scramble of Andy Boardman suddenly showing up, he used that to get past Peter Varga and sort of widened the gap just a bit, showing that maybe he had a bit more pace, and it was a matter of time getting past Varga. And Dauber now, I hate to say it's a foregone conclusion because it never really is, but the pace he's shown, I feel like possibly Dauber could be making a run for the podium towards the end of this race if he keeps this up, because he's absolutely flying. Only a couple more tenths till he's in range of Miso Stubna in fourth position in this race. It'll be front engine v front engine for well, first time in a while, first time since the beginning of the race. Ooh, huge. Callum is on the back of Andrzej Bacek, maybe not close enough for a move on the brakes, but he's getting closer and closer, and I can promise you he has a bit of grit between his teeth after getting pushed off circuit earlier, and well, he's hungry.
Yeah, I think he's looking to sort of bridge that gap. He's seen Nico Kumpu sort of start to stretch a little bit more further away in front of him. He is still in sight, Nico, of the two behind him, and it is all just one botched pit stop away from all switching around again, which these guys still have to do. It's a big risk for them in this race. I've got word on Richard Meerman. It was a GPU crash, complete GPU crash, so he is going to be out, and we hope to see you back next Monday, mate. I'm very sorry that happened. Hopefully it's just a quick reboot that sorts it out for you, but obviously he lost so much time doing that he retired from the race. So you don't get mechanical DNFs in sim racing unless it's your hardware in your PC that fails, in which case it could be a mechanical DNF.
That's at least how I like to think of it.
Yeah, it's like just having a wire come loose in a racing.
It's the sim racing equivalent of a mechanical failure in the car, because ultimately it can happen to anyone at any time, and you don't know when. Sometimes you don't. Most of the time you don't know why. So
I have word on Vaztech from McKenna. Thank you very much to our stewards team. You are wonderful people. I knew they would have seen it. It looks like he lagged apparently or something and went wide into turn 1 on lap 10, and Kumpu was close enough to get through. So we knew there was something there involved. McKenna is also very excited because I'm proud to announce that we have the first penalty of 2026. However, it hasn't come through on our channel yet.
I do know what happened. It's between Olivier Kiert and the 5 car and Peter Varga in the 508.
It is not. It is not. It is between the 921 and the 7. So that is for Raphael Huel and Andre Bajtek. It's a 5-second penalty for Andre Bajtek for forcing a car off the track.
Yep, and here it is
That's
again.
this one here.
Boing! Off into the grass. Yep,
so Andre Bajtek not only lagged and lost the lead, he's now got a 5-second penalty to deal with. So I think McKenna just doesn't want to see the Lexus win and is going to give everyone penalties in front of Joe Dorder and just let the GTR take it.
I don't.
As Bibby says, are they a Lexus?
I mean, I don't think so. I know for a fact that our stewarding team is very professional and very impartial. Don't take the make of the car into account when making their decisions.
I do.
Yeah, but that's why.
That's why we're in this box and they're in their box.
Exactly. Almost certainly. And there is a lack of Mercedes, as Ash Baby says, and it is a bit surprising. Usually there's one picking around another front engine V8 motor. There also is a Mustang. I think there's a lack of front engined love. It is, there's 3?
We have a GTR and a Lexus.
4. There's 5 front engine cars out of 15.
There's a BMW.
Terrible accounting.
AMG is a front. The AMG.
No, I'm saying in this. I'm saying on circuit right now. There are 5
I'd count
out
through.
of
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
There are 5 front engine cars. Jack.
That's what I said. I literally said 5. I said 5.
I thought in my head it had to be more than that, so I thought you miscounted. So there are, but good news, guys. There are 5. Here's one we haven't seen.
I require an apology.
I just did.
Sorry.
Our first fight of 2026.
Absolute anarchy.
It will not be the last. Just wait till we get on to how to make a cup of tea properly. Jesus Christ, you haven't seen the best of us yet. Fortunately for everyone, and including Bibby's sanity, there is enough action going on track to keep us away from misguided rants about random topics. And these guys are actually providing a very, very good race, Jack. Actually,
I think
Bibby
we are.
To talk about tea.
No.
We're overruling it.
No.
I can't wait till he turns the broadcast off to this, so we can't see anything.
Here's the thing. I normally am all about waffling on circuit and making up conversations, turning on the RCI radio show, but on track action to keep us busy at the moment, and so we'll carry on with that. Oh, we have another stopper happening. That's Boardman entering the pits. Well, we've had a couple of stoppers, including Huel and Andrzej Bacek, which happened at some point, but I was too busy shouting at Callum to notice. And both drivers doing reasonably well in the pits. Actually, Bacek losing 5 seconds to Huel on the pit stop, so that's promoted several cars up a couple of positions.
That would be because he has a 5-second penalty.
That would be because he has a 5-second penalty. Well spotted, well remembered.
It's been a while, to be fair to you, it's been a while since we've had Stewart given penalties, so remembering that their pit stop's going to be 5 seconds. I can't remember the last time I did a live stewarded series.
It would have been the Sylvia series. I believe was the last one. It was live stewarded, I believe. I just don't think many. I don't think there were many things that actually occurred.
It was the Sylvia series. You are absolutely correct. It was the last thing that was live stewarded by us. So yeah, but it is lovely to have them back. We will keep praising them while they keep giving us penalties to forget about, and then we'll look at pit stops will offer.
That's why we have. That's why we tend to have multiple people in the box, because if one person gets it wrong, hopefully the other person gets it right, and if they both get it wrong, well, that's just another day. That's just another day in the box.
If we both get it wrong, it just becomes propaganda. Because everyone's saying the same thing.
Kumpu's in the pits, out of the lead, about half distance into the race. Hopefully he got his spot right, because I know he has bad memories with this pit lane. And coming from the lead of the race, so we'll see what that looks like when he gets ready to come out. The 666, the Beast car, the number of the Beast, is now taking the lead. Miso Stubna going later than the rest on pit strategy and has been promoted to the lead of the race with Joe Dauber in second and Tito Roskamp in third. And, well, if Dauber stays out long enough, he might be within the lead of the race at, well, I'd say at some point, I think, very nearly. I think Stubna might need to start looking in his mirrors a bit more if he isn't already, Callum. And I don't know. I think he's got some. Both these drivers have some good pace. Bit of a mistake, a bit wide, but maybe another move from the Dauber.
Yeah, I'm anticipating a little turn one lunge if he doesn't get in here into the sort of section off the back. It's quite a good place to send a move actually into this this tight right-hander of turn 13, but he elects to just follow through with the Aston Martin in front of him and just stick behind him, waiting for that big old long straight so he can get the power down. Neither of them, I think, so they're going to stay out as they climb up onto the banking. Now, is this a close enough gap for Joe Dauber to make a move? So it's 3/10 across the timing line. He's looking shaping for the inside. Yeah, I was going to say no as well. It would have to be mighty impressive. But we have seen lunges from further back.
We have seen lunges from further back. Maybe not on this circuit. Maybe not at that corner. I mean, you are braking from very high speed, but you're not. You know, it's a quicker corner than it sort of appears to be. The nature of a chicane like that is you can carry a bit of speed through. Ideally, scrub it mid-corner and just carry extra in, carry as much as you can out. And doesn't end up being too quick, but he's closing. Oh, he was closing through the first sector, but sort of dropped back, maybe making some mistakes through turn 6. And that might be one of my favorite camera angles on this circuit. I do love a locked-off shot. Just let the cars come to you. It looks nice. It's cinematic, and the filmmaker in me is getting a little bit to the stiffy.
Apart from, I was about to raise a complaint about Ash Bibby repeatedly saying that we should listen to that car when he streams with no audio in Discord, so we can't listen to that car. But I'm going to ignore that and probably make a complaint to Jesse about that previous comment. I don't think that was what you should be saying. But I don't have any audio in Discord, Ash. Ash is now very confused that I can't hear the race car. Jack, can you hear the race cars?
No.
Okay.
It's been like that since the.
So Ash has been wondering why we haven't actually been responding to him when he keeps saying listen to those cars or comment on how good that car sounds. Ash, it's because we can't hear you, which he is now currently being rest assured he is face palming. I haven't heard him face palm yet. I'm sure we will, but he is face. I just heard him face palm quite hard as well because it picked up on his mic, which is quite impressive. So, but yeah, but Miso Stubner is managing to hold off Joe Dauber while making you feel excited in the trouser department at the same time with the camera angles that were being shown.
I didn't think that would cause quite a stir.
I think it just made Bibby laugh.
It stirred more than my trousers. I can certainly say that. But I think we should swiftly and sharply moving
on. Anyway. Ash Bibby is now saying apparently we should have audio.
We don't.
I still don't.
Still don't. Audio, and please don't try to fix it.
Yeah, please don't break the stream, Ash. Please don't break the stream. It works at the moment.
Roskam's in the pit. Mike Foxall's in the pit. Joe Dauber is now in pit lane. And it's still...
I think Ash Bibby is now pressing every button to try and make it work like Lewis Hamilton did.
It's fine. 2 more coming into pit lane. That's Varga and Kirtan. And Roskam is all pitted up and is in net 3rd position after, well, it's not anymore. Sure. Thanks ACC. You ruined my whole point that I was about to make. But it's Kumbu, Huel, and then Batek are the net podium after everybody finishes their stop. That should be how it all feeds out. And I am actually a bit surprised that there's cars still going for a while. Usually the undercut is the proven strategy on Mondays, but I think the GT3s, when it comes to the GT3s, the overcut might be preferred as an alternate strategy, alternating just the old 50% of the race, stop, tires, maybe some fuel, go again. And it doesn't seem to have shaken up the field too much. No stops that have been too terribly and concerningly long. It's anywhere between a 134. Well, I was gonna say Kumpu's broken his jinx at Indianapolis in the pit lane. He's actually got the quickest stop at it.
Oh,
And
Joe
as
Dormer's
I
just got to
say
stop
that,
and go 30.
oh, I was gonna say, as I said that, Joe Dauber actually had a quicker pit lane time or shorter pit lane time. I think I know how he got some of that time. He came in a little bit hot in pit entry, and his charge towards the podium, well, that one's gonna hurt. That's
Yeah, that car
effectively
had
a
the,
90-second penalty.
car had the pace for the top three, and he knows it as well. And easily had the pace to sort of start fighting with Bounce Tech and maybe Huel as well. Yeah, Nico Kumpu's a further 4 seconds up the road, but that had a real big opportunity for Joe Dormer there, and one I'm sure we might be able to see if Bibby can find it on the replay, but we might not. His pit entry or pit exit, please, Bibby, if possible. It's not possible. ACC replay tool things. We moan about the LMU replay tool, Jack, and now I'm going to moan about the ACC replay tool as well. So,
Isn't it really fun
we're going
to
to put that on
be
the
a
bingo
commentator?
card.
See, this is why I love being a commentator, because all we do, this is a
moan.
But yes, all we do is just sit or stand and just sort of watch, talk about what's going on, but ultimately we don't actually have to do much. We just get to complain, and everybody gets to hear us, and they don't get to hear anybody else. It's great. It's wonderful.
It is. We are.
We might have a moment
of
stand by with us just for a moment.
I maintain we still need that technical difficulty stream from The Simpsons.
What technical difficulties? Everything works all the time. Nothing ever doesn't work.
I am going to check that we actually have audio, because Bibby has asked me to.
It didn't work. Everything's broken.
It's not. We
Broken.
do have audio. It's not broken. I can hear myself, which means that we have audio. Oh, yeah, Bibby, you didn't fix it for us now. Wow, this is so difficult to have a conversation with someone and explain what the conversation is to people who can't hear the person who's talking to us. Bibby is still going to try and fix this. If we do drop out at any point, then okay, Bibby's not going to continue to try and fix this. He's just changed his mind and he's going to stop pressing buttons. And Joe Dormer is still going round, actually. He's not taken his stop go 30 yet.
I think he will have to serve it this lap.
We'll have to this lap, I think.
Yeah. Usually it's a 3-lap maximum on when you get a penalty. You have 3 laps to serve it, and I believe this is his 3rd lap that he's gone around since getting the penalty, so he should be in pit lane at the end of here, and well...
And seeing as it's not a decision given by our stewards, he can't protest it either. Which is frustrating. It's just been given by the in-game tool.
You can't really protest live penalties either. It's a bit tricky to do when you're still inside the car.
Ooh, well, I was going to say that's quite an impressive lunge if he gets that stopped, but Malcolm did not get that stopped. He managed to rejoin safely. But,
I think worried.
Someone has just missed their braking board.
Yep. So he maybe tries to go for a lunge. Realize it's interesting. He just sort of realizes he's way too late and just carries on, avoiding an incident.
I don't think he was going for that. He started braking and then darted inwards afterwards. To me, that looks like he just plain missed his braking point. Maybe got a bit distracted. Round. That
He
looked
is
like it was
round.
off T-Bell Roscam
I think it was
from my eyes. Yeah, but off
Boardman
T-Bell Roscam.
coming
He's
into the
spun off T-Bell
braking
Roscam.
zone, and oops,
Two cars
he's
trying
maybe,
to occupy a car and a half worth of space, I think.
yep. So it's something where, you know, it's a late move. He's not quite there. Roscam doesn't give him the space. Well, he has the space, but the curb spits him out, and he pings off the rear quarter of Roscam. So it seems like it's not been Andy Boardman's day. He had reasonable pace. He was running in fourth position for quite a while, and we're not exactly sure what happened, but he was going very slowly for a while. Lost a couple of positions there, and among the fight to get back into the top 5 has a spin here, and now it's Olivier Kirton, which we've seen this before. These two chasing one another, but there's still 20 minutes, still plenty of time for Boardman to climb back if he has the pace. Right now he's going to be looking rearwards, probably a bit more than forwards, because there's an NSX to keep him company through the first sector. It is interesting to see the difference in lines between a lot of these cars, especially it's most notable through the first sector, Callum. It's a setup determining factor. It's, you know, engine location. It's a million things, because depending on what your car is set up for, where the weight is over what axle, it determines how you sort of have to drive this kind of car. So things that makes GTs incredibly interesting.
Yeah, it's a massive part of it as well, and we see so many different brands and cars and shapes and everything, and engine configuration layouts represented in GT3, and it provides a different style. You know, someone who's necessarily quick in a Porsche might not be quick in a Ferrari, and it's something you do have to adjust to quite a lot, especially in real life as well. There's quite a few drivers who, I look at sim racer, James Baldwin. He drove BMW. He's driven, I think, a Ferrari GT3 car. I know he's definitely driven a BMW M4 GT3 and the McLaren with Garage 59 as well. So not only does he have to drive different cars in sim and learn them, you then have to drive different cars in sim and on track as well. It's a drag race between Matt Malcolm and Mike Redford. Matt Malcolm is going again on this move, and he manages to get it stopped this time. They're now side by side coming through turn 2 into turn 3. That gives Matt Malcolm the inside line. I think this should be all said and done, although there is a touch there. He's lost the back end there, Matt Malcolm has, but he's done very well to gather it up. And I think if you looked at the throttle trace, I think you've probably seen Redford get out of it there, because he recognised that was sort of a bit of a late cut back across, and he's just clipped the rear end of Matt Malcolm, and he's sort of let him sort it out, and they're going to carry on with their battle as Redford looks to try and get in the slipstream down the back straight.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be close enough this time for the move, but a very impressive save from Matt Malcolm regardless, and both drivers. It is hard racing after all, and these two guys, they could be talking to each other right now. I'm not sure if they are, but a lot of our drivers are close knit and probably shout at each other while racing each other, and that's one of the beautiful things about sim racing, is that you can do that. Here's Kirton still on the back of Boardman, not quite as close as he was previous, but 0.6 is still very close. And Varga has now entered the fray just a bit, and I'm not sure if that's something that Kirton is happy or a bit less happy to see. That fight coming back. It's been about 40 minutes since we've seen these guys go wheel to wheel, and maybe we're about to see it happen again. It's pretty even between the three of them, evenly split on pace through the first sector. But the big decider, it seems, has been turn 6 for a lot of cars. And since the start, it's been a bit quiet for Nico Kumper. We haven't really talked about him a whole lot. And since he got past Andrzej Bacek, it's, well, he's just sort of been on his own out in the front. And whether he sees that as a good thing or a bad thing, it is sort of been his day on pace. He didn't get the start that he wanted, but he held firm. He did what he needed to do, and He's leading the race, Callum. He's quite out in front. 4.5 seconds there or thereabouts on fuel in second.
Yeah, I think he'll be a bit disappointed with how he got the lead, presuming that it was the way that the broadcast team described to us for Andre Bashtek to have that issue. We think with a bit of a network connection issue that caused him to lag and go wide in turn one. But Nico's driven a solid race. He's obviously a very, very quick driver as he's at the front of Armando Field, which is full of very quick guys. But Nico has proven himself in loads and loads of different championships. I think he also, correct me if I'm wrong, I think I saw his name in the Alpine sim racing series we hosted recently for Alpine Esports as well. So he is one of our quicker drivers up the top end. Same with Raphael Huel and Bajtek, sort of, to me at least, Jack, a bit of a newer name here. We have seen him in a couple of different series now, but he has proven himself so far to be absolutely rapid, and I think he will. This will be a disappointing one for him. However, he will take it on the chin and take it that he's probably lucky to come away with a podium, especially seeing as Joe Dorval was chasing them all down. And obviously got set back 9 positions by that stop-go penalty, which is quite crushing. But he is still pounding round. Maybe he can get a catch up on Hugo GB, who's about a straight ahead. So he's still got a quarter of the race to go, 15 minutes to see who he can chase down. And there's no danger from behind either with Foxhall. He's a couple of laps down in that Lamborghini. I think he's struggling a little bit. But it's nice to see, like you said, a good field of cars and a fairly strong attrition rate when you compare it to some of our other series we ran recently. You're only losing the one car to effectively an uncontrollable issue.
Yes, yeah, we've had I'd say most of January and a little bit towards the end of the year last year, high attrition rate races. A lot of that is down to circuits, down to the cars that they're driving. A lot of it happening in LMU. Ooh, Kearton is as close as he's ever been on the back of Boardman. I was saying that Boardman, if he had the pace, he could go back and attempt to get into the top 5, but as this race is coming down and counting down, he doesn't seem to have the pace. We'll see. First sector, Boardman's always seemed to be a bit quicker through these section of corners, especially turn 6. He takes such a wider entry than most other cars and seems to be able to sort of carry it through better than others, but Kearton's on the back and very close. We'll see from the rear wing of Boardman if that NSX closes in at all on the straight. It does a little bit, but not enough towards the braking zone. You really need to have a lot of quarter speed to think about a move there. But, it's tough to say. Boardman's doing the right thing. He's not really defending at all. I think Kearton's doing the right thing as well by not sort of throwing away time on pointless maneuvers, sort of staying in the wheel tracks, maybe occasionally stepping out into the mirrors, letting them know, hey, by the way, I'm still here. I'm sure you know. I'm still here. And that's good news for both of them because it means Varga is not closing quite as much. He is still within. There was any sort of incident, any sort of hard racing, Varga could be within this fight any moment now, Callum. The race is winding down, 13 minutes, but I think we still have some racing action left to see.
Yeah, we've still got about a 5-second gap up the front, but it's these sort of mid-pack positions that we're going to see a battle for sorting out. I think this is going to be our sort of our fight that takes us to the end. Really, here is whether Olivier Curtin can put a move on Andy Boardman. They're sort of about 4 seconds behind Timo Roskamp now, so I don't think Boardman is going to be looking forward. It's just going to be in the back mirror. Just keeping an eye on Olivier Curtin to see if he gets a good run at him anywhere. Boardman using all of the available track and a tiny bit of the grass onto the back straight, but Curtin seems to have got a decent run. He's just shaping, like you said, just to stay in those mirrors in sort of the lead up to the braking zone to see if he can put Andy Boardman off. Trying to take slightly different lines just again, so he stays in those mirrors. He's not going to make a move through the S's section unless he wants to be an absolute hero, but it's pretty difficult to make a move through there. But he might be looking to see if he can just stay in that slipstream. They are like you said, holding gap to Peter Varga at about a second, but you can clearly see that Olivier Curtin is getting held up here.
Yeah, no, I think he has more pace than he's showing right now. I mean, it tends to be that when you're sticking within, under half a second, mostly under 4/10s, you would imagine that the car ahead is holding you up. But to overtake, you don't just have to be a little bit faster. You kind of sort of need to be a lot faster on a circuit such as this. No
Traffic
huge
might help.
braking zones. That could help. That is very well
Lamborghini
spotted.
of Vauxhall there. Well, only Lamborghini left after Min and obviously retired, which might get in the way. Obviously, there will be blue flags, so he should get out of the way of the cars who are a lap up on him. So we'll see though. Sometimes if you catch it at the wrong time, you just can't help it really. But it's not like the World Endurance Championship with different classes. These guys do actually have to get out of the way and be respectful.
Yes, yeah. Blue flags are very much in this sort of race, it is very much a get out of the way. Give way, allow the lapping car to overtake cleanly. They shouldn't have to lose any time. It's not like multi-class racing. You just sort of do your thing and let the faster car overtake, which, by the way, if you're just doing your thing, expecting for multi-class traffic to just figure itself out, kind of the wrong way to do it. By the by, but I won't go on my rant about what's wrong with people's driving standards in multi-class racing because, well, we don't have time for that. And also, there is no multi-class racing happening on the screen, so it would just be an old man shouting at a cloud. Curtin is still close again. I think
Boardman's going to get the slipstream off the Lambo though.
I was going to say the Lambo's coming into play, and actually I think that Boardman maybe has found a little bit of pace, or Roscam might be dropping off a bit because that gap has come down by about a second or so. I was thinking it was because of the traffic that he lost a bit of time, but on that lap alone, more time was lost to Roscam ahead.
Interestingly, that incident where Boardman went down the inside into turn 8, the stewards have said that there's no further action. They need Andy Boardman to dive and spin out himself on the curb. So maybe you might think Roscam got away with one a bit there. Maybe you might think that was the right call. However, a team of people in a booth have made that decision, and they are more innately qualified than I am. Also, this got given as a racing incident for hard racing, which I think was because Mike Redford lifted out and let Matt Malcolm regain control and keep the same gap, and Matt Malcolm has gone to pull a little bit of a gap on Redford there as well.
Yeah, it was certainly some hard racing and not a substantial enough contact that really should be deemed as much of anything, especially considering that Matt Malcolm was able to catch the slide. No change of position, no advantage given or taken. So just some hard racing from two hard racers. Dauber has managed to catch Hugo Duby, and, well, he hasn't just caught him, he's overtaken him. It's the second move we've seen done in turn 6. Every time I come to the circuit, I sort of, I look at the track map, I think about how the race is going to go, I'm like, yep, turn 6, now it overtakes there every single time. I'm proven wrong. You'd think I've learned by now, but no, I never learn. Joe Dauber had the pace. He had a 15-second gap to close in 15 minutes, and he did it in about 7. Still showing pace at GTR. It's just unfortunate that he got himself the penalty in the pit lane, but 25 seconds he's got to do in 8 minutes. It's not impossible, Cal, but I do think it's very unlikely.
Yeah, pigs can't fly, but they can fly if you throw them hard enough off a big bridge. Like, it isn't impossible, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think...
Where's the line, Bibby, I argue, between falling and flying? I would argue that falling is temporarily flying, just at a high rate downwards.
I disagree.
Ash Bibby coming in with a fine point there of asking Buzz and Woody about that. I don't think a pig would fall with style, though.
Well, especially not if you throw them off a bridge, you psycho.
Don't do this at home, children. Do not throw pigs off bridges.
I don't
It's
think
an
you need to
analogy.
tell him that. I think that's just a you thing, man.
You never know. There might be a very lonely pig farmer's son out there with a very big bridge. I have just heard something in my ears from Ash
No,
that I cannot repeat on
no,
camera.
no. We can leave that alone.
Staying in the booth and not coming out.
We can
Just
leave
like
that
what he
alone.
talked about. Yeah, no. Maybe comments and trying to find the difference between flying and falling. Because I would argue that falling is just a type of flying.
I entirely disagree with you because they call it skydiving, not sky flying. Ooh, good point from our broadcaster. Is I do wish Kevin Boss was here.
Kevin is also asleep.
He's a pilot. He is asleep. Well, allegedly.
He's probably watching this, to be
fair. He does do a bit of flying. He is a bit of a pilot.
A bit of a pilot. He flies 747s, and he's currently in Kazakhstan on a stop off from China to Holland.
It's a bit.
Olivier Curtin is going round the outside.
Oh, thinking
banking.
about it. But he's gonna have to take the long way around, getting on the banking early, hoping to square up the braking. It's turn 13, another move
It's going to be tight
again.
in turn 13, but Olivier Curtin doesn't quite manage to get a run on in there.
Yeah, and now that's sort of what I was alluding to earlier, where I said as soon as these two start fighting, Varga's going to be closing in, and he has done. All this easily the closest Curtin has been all along, going down to turn 1. Boardman's defending, not super hard, thinking about running it to the wall. That is hard defending. It's going to be last of the late breakers. We'll see what Olivier Curtin can do. They're side by side going into turn 1. And I think it's going to be Curtin that gets it. The circuit does come back left. A little bit of a touch. A little bit of a nudge. Curtin going, this is my space. I'm going to take it. Yeah, Varga thinking about it in the rear. Hoping that granted him an opportunity. But a tidy move. It's been many minutes and many laps coming from Curtin to overtake Boardman. And the last thing Boardman wants now is to lose another position to Peter Varga, but Varga thinks he has the pace. He's been trailing them just a bit off, but now that he's in the slipstream, favors might change. Boardman maybe he could have lost a little bit of confidence after losing the position. I don't know. Boardman is quite seasoned, and I think he's just going to shrug that one off. Try to come back at Curtin. 4 minutes remaining. That's plenty of time. Plenty of opportunities still left in this race.
Yeah, this is a gap where I should be talking, but I just posted a funny gif in our chat to what you just said about Peter Varga there, which I won't repeat. It's one for us to see. If you want to see it, apply to be a commentator, and then you can see all these wonderful extra text channels in our Discord where we're quite hilarious actually between a lot of us, all the staff who work here at RCI. Our stewards, Jack, they've come back for this race, and I think they probably wish they didn't, because not a lot's happened.
They gave a penalty. That's a good
They did give
day.
a penalty. McKenna's had their moment of being able to say, I gave the first penalty in 2026.
Listen, there's been many days, many rounds of many championships in the past where they have had basically nothing to do and not given any penalties. So they've given one. That's a good day. Ooh, Boardman running a bit wide through 6. Varga keeping on him. He might have a better run. He absolutely has a better run. They're going to be side by side coming down the straight, and Varga actually going to get a little bit of the toe if there's any, but Boardman's on the inside. There's a bit of door-to-door. But Boardman holds firm on the brakes. And, ow.
That was a
Save from Varga. Well, listen, you see that level of angle and sudden added steering mid-corner, you would assume the car goes around, but it didn't. And I'm pretty impressed, because that is on and over the limit for Peter Varga. He wants 7th position, Callum. He wants it. It's almost like he's driving like he needs it. He's
We've seen
hungry.
points decided on less we've seen championships decided on less points than this would give him. So it is very well worth him trying to make this move on Andy Boardman, especially as Boardman sort of had a bit of a tough race. You know, a couple of bits of unfortunate contact, I'll say, whether they might have been incidents or not. But yeah, he's sort of had a tough old race, and Varga's smelling blood, I think, here in the last sort of minute and 40 seconds, which means I think we'll have this lap and then one more. It all depends on the leaders, Jack.
Yes, there's definitely going to be, this and one more. Nico Kumpu's entering turn 13 now, and well, I would say it's been a quiet race. He got a bit of action early on. He had to chase down the lead. It wasn't handed to him, but Nico Kumpu is driven absolutely stellarly, and because it's Mondays, it's, well, famous to me because I do it often. I have the final lap to talk about our wonderful partners that help us do everything we do here at RCI. Ready, Set, Sim is one of our partners, and if you need the best destination for building the sim rig of your dreams or your budget, head over to them. Use the RSS Rig Builder. It's a wonderful tool. It's very fun. It's very cool, and that's where you need to go if you want your full rig built. And might I recommend Moser Racing as far as your direct drive hardware, your main meat of what you got. They are fantastic. I personally use a Moser rig, and I sing their praises outside of RCI partnership. They're great, high quality gear at very, very reasonable prices. And as per usual, some racing begins to happen as soon as I start talking about partners. It's Peter Varga. Oh, he's very deep into one, and he's going to have to hand that back for sure. And, well, he went for it on the final lap. He wasn't going to take it lying down, but
he licked the stamp and sent it. Unfortunately, it had the wrong address, so it came straight back to him.
It did. But, hey, he gave it the move. But Moser Racing, absolutely phenomenal gear, and I realize I'm far running out of time to do this before the end of the race, but that's okay. I'll get to it when I get to it. We got lots of people to thank and lots of wonderful partners.
It's a privileged position to be in, just like Nico Kumpu.
It is a privileged position to be in because it's 2026, it's Mondays, and Nico Kumpu has gone and won round one of the GT3 Masters. He's the current GT3 Master. In round one, at least. We'll see how everything pans out later in the championship. Raphael Hugh didn't really seem to have the pace for second if qualifying was the answer, but he did further on. Andrzej Batek, bit of a tough one for him, leading the race at one point, getting a penalty, losing it a bit with connection issue. Riso Stubna crosses the line fourth, and Thibaut Roscan managed to hold off Boardman and forced an error out of Boardman, so he gets the finish. In fifth, Olivier Kierton in sixth after overtaking Andy Boardman. Here he comes around. Varga not quite getting it done on the last lap. Maybe he only needed a couple more minutes.
He got a lot closer on that last lap than I thought he would have done. Bear in mind how far he was behind in T1, but he was really going on a charge, and that will make him do that mistake even more, I think. Matt Malcolm, sort of a quiet race for him, really. We saw him a little bit here and there. He made a few good moves, but yeah, didn't really see that McLaren feature an awful lot on the broadcast. Mike Redford, though, we saw quite a lot of him. Comes at home, rounding out the top 10, and then Miguel Cizeron of, I think, one of our newer drivers as well in the Aston Martin, coming home in 11th. And really, this is the case of what could have been, isn't it, Jack? Joe Dorber was on a podium charge, and that stop and go 30 for the pit lane, and he's the last car to cross the line. I think probably adequately showing his frustrations. We're not getting driving in reverse, are we, Gabe? No, thank God he's in the right way around this time.
What do you mean? That was awesome when everybody
drove
around.
Awesome, but I don't think I can laugh that hard again.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, no, definitely a race of what could have been for Dauber. But I gotta say, pretty darn good race for round one. Hopefully they can keep this up throughout the 6 rounds. It's Nico Kumpu taking the checkered flag first. And, well, I think that's our everybody knows that's who you got to beat. if this is any indication of the pace. Raphael Huel in second position. He's a driver that comes so close in so many championships. Is this Monday going to be his time to climb to the absolute top step? Andrzej Batek showing a whole heck of a lot of pace. Maybe minimize mistakes, maybe wiggle his Ethernet cable just a little bit before the start of the race, and race victory could come their way at some point in this season. Miso Stubna, a quiet race, but a very good race, finishing in fourth position. Thibaut Roskam did have to work for it, but got it in fifth position. Olivier Kirton, sixth. Andy Boardman, seventh. I think another drive of what could have been maybe a bit more pace from Boardman was shown, but wasn't able to keep it up for the remainder of the race. Peter Varga, 8th. Matt Malcolm, 9th. Mike Redford, 10th. Miguel Cizeron in 11th. Joe Dauber, 12th. We'll see what that Nissan can do next week, because it's got a lot of pace. We'll see if he decides to qualify. Knowing Joe Dauber, probably not. We'll be seeing the same thing next week. Hugo Doobie, 13th. Mike Foxhole, 14th. And Richard Meerman, after his GPU decided to stop being processing graphics, ended up in 15th. And, well, because it's Mondays, of course, we got some folks in the box that want to talk to us. We'll start off with the race winner, Nico Kumpu. Welcome back to the top step, man. That was you had to work for it a bit in the beginning, but how did that race feel to you overall?
Yeah, hi. It's very fun to be back after the Christmas break, and I haven't been driving during this time, so it's really nice to be back on the Monday champs. I had a bit bad start maybe, so I dropped to second place, and then we knew that the Lexus is fast on the straight, so I didn't have any chances to overtake Patek on the straight, but I was just waiting for a mistake from him, so or then the pit stops.
I will say I talked about it and fortunately didn't jinx you before the start of the race, because last time, maybe not the last time you here, but I do know that a race was decided for you at Indianapolis in the pit stop, and
Yeah,
I
it was.
believe you had the quickest pit stop of the day. Well, technically Joe Dauber had the quickest pit stop, but he also got a stop and go 30. So
So
he
there's
had
that.
it doesn't really entirely count as the quickest, but I think you broke your jinx. I think you found your pit box a lot more comfortable this time.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah. I remember that race. I lost to Portman in that one, and we were. I got some reminders from my friends that I have been missing my pit box. So when parking my car in the workplace and stuff like that. So
well, you got it. You got it right this time. Are you feeling? I mean, is the rust feel like it's been shaken off since the Christmas break? Are you feeling like you're ready to challenge for the championship here?
let's see. I think the pace will be quicker in the upcoming races if we get Martin Laurent to the seat, and also everybody getting more comfortable with the cars. For me, the Ferrari today was feeling really good from the start, so I was enjoying driving it.
That's good. It's good to see a really good mix of field. It does seem like the Ferrari is the overall favorite. I feel like it sort of tends to be. It's either the Ferrari or the McLaren in my very limited ACC experience. But it's good to see everybody's coming around. But you're right. Martin Lawrence will be joining us hopefully next week, and that he's the Bentley driver. He's the boat driver. So he is quick. You are
I'll
right to
wait for
know that. And,
that boat to be back. But
oh,
yeah,
I'm so excited.
yeah.
I'm so excited. Well, Nico, congratulations on the race. Congratulations on the victory. Hopefully the rust is shaken off. Maybe we'll see you this time next week yet again. Maybe another victory from you. So best of luck in your practice for next week, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, and I will be here next week, and I want to give shout out to Thibaut and Joe, teammates driving today. Carlos was on the voice chat but not driving here in ACC, and for me, being back in the Ferrari is the same. Well, not the same car, but same brand. than what I started the ACC with. So it's nice to be back because never know, this could be the last ACC championship.
Oh, don't say that.
I don't want to think about
Oh.
that. I don't want to think about
Yeah,
that.
thought
We've
about
still
it.
got plenty of racing to do though, Nico. But no, a very
Yeah.
big congrats to all of us there. I think actually we're seeing on screen how Andre actually lost the position to you. So we didn't actually catch that on the broadcast, but yeah, it was it just happened to us, and we didn't quite see it, so we couldn't get the tool to work. But I'm going to flip. Hopefully you have a great week, Nico, and we'll see you next week. But Peter Varga, are you here?
Yes.
Yeah,
In
good to
very
hear
good
from
spirit.
you. How are you feeling after that one? I know you're probably a little bit frustrated after that that last of the late breakers hero move into turn one, but I think a couple more laps you'd have had him. I'm not going to lie.
I think so as well, but I do not belong here where I finished today. I can tell you that. I mean, I'm kind of surprised myself with the performance. I did not expect to actually be able to run with, the Kit and Dober, Boardman and everyone. Like, usually those guys just disappear into the sunset for me. So today was very, very special for me. I'm not actually disappointed about that. I'm actually kind of happy that I just went for it and sent it. I would be much more annoyed by myself if I did not at least go for it. But yeah, the race just went well.
Yeah, it seemed like it. You seem to just be one of those people that sort of steadily gained throughout the course of it. But yeah, I mean, it was a very, very brave route, and you did very, very nearly pull it off as well. It was sort of one of those ones where if you broke a couple of meters earlier, it might have changed how things went. But how have you
Yeah.
found sort of jumping into the GT3 cars? I know we haven't done a GT3 ACC series in a little bit, exclusively focusing on these cars. So how are you finding that? Are you enjoying the Ferrari like Nico Kumpu as well? I know it's like we said, it seems to be the car to go for. So how are you finding driving that and looking towards maybe a bit of rain at Laguna Seca?
Oh, please no.
Maybe,
Why? Why?
maybe,
Well, at least you know
maybe.
now and not
At
not
least you
next
know now
Monday.
and not tomorrow when it gets posted.
Why,
Um,
why,
so
why,
get practicing.
why does Kevin not like me?
I
Uh,
don't know. um, it's not
uh,
just for you; it's for everyone. I promise.
Speed-wise, I mean, I was gaining throughout the race. That was kind of surprise to me. I did not expect to actually bring that pace from qualifying into the race, considering I was on a actually same qualifying time as the Redford, which was, kind of annoying. But yeah, hopping into the Ferrari, I mean, it feels like home. It's my home basically. It's my best car, my favorite car, so I just went like, yeah, let's go for it. Especially since I made myself a livery back when ACC was still, you know, kind of the go-to sim. So I was like, I might as well, use it. I might as well sign up and drive it and not just let it be there forgotten in the menu. So
I promise you will be able to use that. We are working on it. Obviously, it's that switch over to SimGrid kind of. It made
yeah,
everything
yeah.
better apart from the livery system, which we sort of had nailed. But
I
I'm
mean,
hoping to see that at Laguna Seca. I hope you're looking forward to it, and we'll see you next week. Although I might have just put you off.
Laguna is one of my top 5 favorite circuits in the world. So
Good answer. Good
if it's
answer.
gonna what?
You're
It's a
appealing
good
to our resident American.
good answer.
Ah,
Laguna Seca is a underrated circuit.
people don't like it, uh, but I like it. I might be weird or something, but yeah, it is one of my tracks I just like lapping in general. So I think I'm gonna enjoy even if it's wet. But I wouldn't expect myself to be running with these guys again next week.
Well, who knows? You might surprise yourself and us. Maybe we'll
Oh
see
yeah,
if you keep managing to run with these guys. And congratulations on I'd say is what I describe as the definition of a solid race today. Um, but
yeah.
yeah, all the best for the week. Get your practice in that practice server. And Jack, I'll let you We got one more. We got one more loiterer in the box waiting to be talked to. So
Loiterer. Why did you
loiterer.
say that?
He
It's
joined last,
Raphael
so he gets
Huel.
picked last. I'm
It's
afraid.
Raphael Huel, ladies and
It's Raphael
gentlemen.
Huel.
Raphael, I don't think you're a loiterer. I would never say that about you. I just want you to know that.
Thank you.
It's not an insult, I'd like to say. Like I'm not just coming in and called this man horrible things. He's just having to sit and patiently wait for his turn.
Exactly. He's patient and stoic
And quick.
and quick indeed. But I gotta say, it was a good race. It was a good performance. It was another one of those where I feel like you should be an honorary member of Nearly on Pace because you are always so nearly on pace, and I'm so ready for the day that you absolutely smoke the field in a race.
Yeah, we can wait for that.
What if you had to? All right, when is it going to be? Next week? You feeling good about Laguna in the Rain? Now that you know that that's what it's going to be.
I'm not sure I can make it next week, but
I'm just
I
gasping
know
for effect.
it's
He's
heresy.
definitely just heard that from me and then decided that he's now busy on Mondays.
No, but I've had a look at the track selection, and I think the Porsche will do well at a few tracks there. And I think I can also do very well on some of them. Maybe we can find an intersection of the two, and then there would be the pace.
Well, that would be good to see. I would be super excited. And but overall, thinking on today, how'd you feel? I know Indianapolis is sort of a meh track for most and a I hate it track for some others. Do you feel all right?
I think it's a great track. Maybe not today because towards the end of the second stint, I lost all my tires. I think I also had a leak in the front right. It was down to 25-ish psi. So not the greatest in terms of tires, but it felt good to drive until then. Also fun to have some racing in the front. You always love to see it. But yeah, in general, I think I'm more on the side of meh. I don't hate it, but it's not that like not raced often, so most people don't really know it, and then you have a huge skill ceiling.
Well, fortunately, as you said, and I like how you're keeping your cards close to your chest on what circuits you feel good about, what circuits you feel the car is going to be good at. So we'll have to wait and see. I appreciate a man who keeps the cards close to his chest, but no, I think that is the general consensus. Is it's not raced very much. It's sort of a people show up to it and they put in as much practice as you can, but no one's terribly comfortably here. But and a good note about the racing at the front. That was very enjoyable. Hopefully, crossing my fingers and toes that continues on later into the rounds. But I mean, first off, well, lastly off, congratulations on P2. A very
Thank
good
you.
performance. I think a drive to be happy with for sure. I know there's one step higher. But I think you can sleep soundly tonight. I give you permission. You can sleep soundly tonight.
Yeah,
And
it was decent. Good start. Got one position and then finished there.
hey, you overtook somebody on circuit and we're on the podium. That's
Exactly.
that for me, this super slow individual, that's like the greatest day of my life. That's basically winning. But congratulations on that. We look forward to maybe seeing you next week, but certainly seeing you later on in the season. Thank you, of course, for joining us, and
Definitely.
enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your week, and good luck practicing.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, Callum Kerwin, you know what
Yes,
time it is. It's time for me to right the wrongs of
it is.
not finishing talking about our partners. No,
Yes,
for a fact, I left off on Moser with Moser Racing. I got
you
through
did.
2 out of 6, so pretty good for me. But listen, I like to give them all their moment. I love to give them all their due and not rush through because they're great people.
I'd like to say we
They
also value all 6 equally, just as Jack always does them in the same order. So the 2 that got shouted during the race are just the first 2 on his
I
script.
actually change up my order
Did you?
sometime.
I
Yeah.
didn't notice. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. In which
Well,
case, cancel everything I just said. I'll be here in
I
the background while Jack tells
it
you
doesn't
about
change.
4.
It doesn't change much. I would
Wow,
say.
Jack is going to now tell you about 4 sets of lovely people who make this actually go live.
Of course, they give us the opportunity to shout at each other in a public forum, which is awesome. But in next on after Mo's Racing and Ready Set Sim, thank you to them again. We have Coach Dave Delta for all of your pace setting needs because with their setups, their apps, tools, and their coaching, it is the best way to climb the sim racing ladder. Faster lap times begin with Delta, after all, and you can find out more by visiting them in the description below. Everybody is in the description below. So if you're curious about supporting any of our partners, supporting the people that support us, that is all down below. We have Green Man Gaming as well. They, if you're looking for deals, always looking for deals. Deals are always a good thing, especially when it comes to PC games. Check out Green Man Gaming. They often have extremely good savings on new releases as well as older titles, sim titles especially. They got deals going on, and that's a wonderful place to go for all your high quality, high resolution needs for virtual reality. Check out our partners over at Pimax. They deliver class leading clarity, super high quality stuff, and super stoked that we have a little exclusive RCI discount code down in the description. So, get a couple bucks off your orders by following our link in the description below. And of course, a final special shout out to Motorsport UK for having us as a recommended esports community. And if you're interested in joining this community, we're over on SimGrid, Racing Club International, for all the information about joining the events. I don't just recommend it, I demand that if you're going to do that, you join our Discord as well. It is the best way to stay up to date with everything we got going on. Chat with drivers, chat with us, enjoy the wonderful community we have created here. And as Callum said earlier, if you're interested in joining any of our staff teams, either stewarding, commentary, or broadcasting, check the staff vacancies channel. All the information is on there. No previous experience is required for anything. Just show up with a good attitude. And Callum, any final words, any final thoughts, any wisdom before we close this
If you
thing
know
out?
random facts or have sort of starters for rather pointless arguments or discussions, you will be given preference over anyone else.
True. Should we? I have an idea. I think we should try to
Oh
have a
gosh, I
chat
have an idea.
created for commentary conversations. I think there should be.
That
I
will
think
be
there
a
should be.
thing.
I think there should be a chat for that.
We'll work on that in the background. However, no, great race today. It was really good to see. I believe it's me and you next Monday. I think it is. I believe our names are down for it anyways. I don't think I said I could do it, but however, I am free. So here we go. Surprise! It's me and Jack back next Monday. I'm very
Yay!
much looking forward to that. Wow, you sounded a lot more excited than I was. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. I don't think I've done a wet race commentary in a very long time, actually. I think the ones I always do miss the wet races on the calendar, so I'm very glad that Ryan and Kevin have put it on a stream that I'm doing. So I'm really looking forward to that wet race at Laguna Seca. Hopefully, we'll start to see some of the cars that couldn't make it today. I know there was a couple of people. Shout out to Richard Mearman. Hopefully that computer issue is one that's easily fixable and not expensive. It'd be good to see him back out again next week. But no, thanks to all the drivers who put on a great race, to all the partners who allow us to stream, to Ash Bibby as well, who has been behind the camera as well. And yeah, no, looking forward to next week now.
I'm always looking forward to Laguna Seca. I actually don't think I've gotten to do a commentary on a race at Laguna Seca, so thumbs up for that. Too bad it'll be a little well, too bad or maybe too good. We'll see how the racing works out. that'll be all soggy. If you're listening, drivers, and you didn't know already, it's going to be soggy. Uh, too bad. It's wet. And looking forward to that. Thank you to all of our drivers, as Calum said again. We couldn't do this without them, and we wouldn't do this without you guys, viewers, joining us today. I've been Jack Mays, yapping away, joined by Callum Kerwin, yapping away, joined by Ash Bibby, silently, but yapping away in the background. Thank you all so much for joining us. And today's random tidbit to end the stream with comes from himself, Ash Bibby. Ladies and gentlemen, don't poo in the woods at night. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We will see you all soon.
You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Get behind the wheel, let's go. Grip the road, feel the flow. Thunder roaring, steel alive. Live this dream and drive. Tires burning with gasoline. Push the limits, chasing green. One shot, don't slow. Go on, we'll take control. Engines scream alive tonight. Blazing past the red line. Outrun the night, won't lose this fight. Follow the road, red line for show. We're chasing taillights, don't let go. Under the stars, we'll go so far. This is who we are. Chasing taillights. Chasing taillights. Chasing taillights. We're chasing taillights. The miles they fade, but they don't die. Faster now, the hours fly by. Sweat and gears, hearts in sync. On the edge, on the brink. Clock ticks down, stakes are high. One mistake, we kiss us goodbye. Don't slow down, we're not done. Finish line for the strong ones. Engines scream alive tonight. Blazing past the red line. Outrun the night, won't lose this fight. Follow the road, red line for show. We're chasing taillights, don't let go. Under the stars, we'll go so far. This is who we are. Chasing taillights. We're chasing taillights. Chasing taillights. We're chasing taillights. Feel the rush, see the goal. Every second, take control. The world blurs, time won't wait. We rise, we fight, we accelerate. 3, 2, 1, go. Follow the road, red line for show. We're chasing taillights, don't let go. Under the stars, we'll go so far. This is who we are. Chasing taillights. We're chasing taillights. Chasing taillights. We're chasing taillights. Chasing taillights. Chasing taillights. Chasing taillights. We're chasing taillights. We're always chasing taillights.